Hey, I'm back for another month in review. I'm well into March by now doing this. I knew this was not going to be easy for me to keep up with these because I feel like I don't do enough over 1 month to put into a video, and I'm not good at keeping up over time, like keeping notes of what I did and stuff. Anyway, I want to keep doing this though, because if I don't do it, I don't know, I feel like I'll regret it if I don't keep up with it. So I guess we will talk about favorite things. I only have 2 things that I would consider favorites this month. The first one is this Origins Ginzing Moisturizer. And yes, I'm only basing that off of this sample size. But I feel like I've used enough of it to know how I feel about it. And I've used quite a few moisturizers like this that are kind of like gel cream moisturizers. So I do like this. It has a scent. It's citrusy and it's pretty strong. So if you prefer things that are fragrance free or just don't have a scent, then this isn't for you. I don't mind it so much. It doesn't really bother me. My skin seems to be doing okay with it. I do like that it feels very hydrating and almost like thirst quenching on the skin, and it does really nice over or underneath facial oil. And the other favorite is the NYX Lift and Snatch brow pen. It's one of those where you can get like fine hair-like strokes out of it. I have another one like this from ABH, but it's getting old. It's getting kind of dried out. So this one's fresh and it's working a little bit better probably because it is fresh. And I don't know, I like the color. It's pretty easy to use. I prefer to use it in combination with other brow products, not just on its own. I feel like it looks the best when I use it that way. Yeah, I recommend it. For things I'm decluttering, I also don't have that much, but a couple of things. Here's the Sally Hershberger 24 karat, I don't know, it's a dry shampoo. I got this in a subscription box maybe, or like a sample bag or something. It didn't work well as a dry shampoo for me. It felt like a hairspray more than a dry shampoo, and I don't really use hairspray, so yeah, that didn't work out for me. And this is a perfume, the Louboutin Bikini Questa Sera. Not my favorite scent. It's not a bad scent, it's just not my taste. Apparently it's got citrus notes in it, which to me smell like green notes. I don't know. Or no, the opposite way. It has green notes, which I interpret as citrus. I don't know. But it's really sharp and pretty strong, and so it's just not really my taste. Let me talk a little bit about new products I tried this month. You've already seen this one. I've swatched it and I've done a couple of looks with it. The ColourPop Rock Candy palette. This is just a neutral palette. It's kind of like their Bare Necessities or Stone Cold Fox. It's kind of like a mixture of the two. It seems like when I look at them on the website. So far I'm liking it. I like the color range. I like that it's got a good amount of depth, some different tones to it, lots of different textures. It performs pretty well. Good color payoff, easy to blend. It does have the shimmers have some sparkle fallout, the ones that have sparkle in them. There's some of the mattes that have sparkle in it also. I know that's a lot of people don't like that formula, and I'm one of those that's kind of like I like them if they're unique and I can see the sparkle and it seems like it's got a purpose in being there. The two that are there's 3 of them in here. Ooh, there's this one, this one, this one. These are all mattes with sparkle. The black and the gray are unique to me. Not unique, but the gray one's unique. The black one, not so much, but it does perform well, so I'm okay with it. The mauve ones, it's alright. The sparkle doesn't show up that much. But anyway, I do like this palette. It's not my favorite. The wear time is average. It's not bad. It's decent. I can get like most of the day out of it before it starts creasing. So not a bad palette. I think it's okay for the price. I already mentioned this, but the NYX Lift and Snatch was new to me this month. I like it. I already said how I feel about it. One of my favorites. The other one is the L'Oreal Voluminous Noir Balm Mascara. All of my mascaras are pretty old, so this one, it's nice to have a new one that's fresh, and I'm glad that this one happened to be good. It's so easy to pick up a mascara and just, it's so hit and miss. You never know if you're gonna like trying a new one. You never know if they're gonna be good or not. Luckily this one was good. I do like it. It's not clumpy. It goes on the lashes pretty evenly, holds a curl. It does flake a little bit. It's not terrible flaking, and it is more common if I put mascara on the lower lashes or if I layer it heavily, like several layers of it. But if I just do one layer on the top lashes, I really don't have much of an issue with flaking. And it does smudge a little bit if my skin's really oily or I'm using a concealer that's kind of more emollient. Like towards the end of the day I'll see a little bit of smudging. It's kind of annoying, but it's not like the biggest, like it doesn't really bother me a whole lot. I tried the Ulta Beauty Matte Eye Primer. I want to try more primers. I want to find a primer that is, I use this term, but it's not the right term, accessible. What I mean by that is like a brand that a lot of people know, or a store that a lot of people are aware of. My favorite primer is the Alter Ego eyeshadow primer, but not a lot of people know about it. I think the brand is more, a lot of people are more aware of the brand now. They've done, in the past, they've done palettes that dupe like the Natasha Denona palette, so I think they've become more widely known because of that. But it's still not something I would consider like a mainstream brand. And so I would like to find a primer that is, like a lot of people are aware of the brand name, that I like as much as that one, and I haven't been able to find one yet. Anyway, that's why I tried this one. It had good reviews, and I've tried another Ulta primer before that I did like a lot, but it had like a shimmer in it, and I prefer for my primers not to have a shimmer or any kind of color to them. Anyway, this one was okay. It's not my favorite. It lasts on me about the same as the Milani primer, and that one's really not my favorite either, so it was okay. If you don't have oily eyelids and you just need a little bit of extra help for getting your eyeshadows to last longer, then it probably would be fine for you. If you have very oily eyelids, probably it wouldn't work the best for you. The last thing that was new to me is the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. This one reminds me a lot of the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer. I tried the two side by side, and they seem like dupes of each other. The Milk one's a little bit stickier than this. If you're familiar with that one, it's got, like, once you put it on the skin, like, you can feel the tackiness of it. And this has that same quality to it, but it's just not as strong. It feels hydrating, very slightly cooling, and it does help for foundation to kind of look a little bit smoother over areas where I have larger pores. And it doesn't really have like a huge effect on the overall look of my foundation. It's there, but it's slight. So, I mean, it's a nice primer. It doesn't seem to fight with my foundation. It seems to get along pretty well with my foundations. But I just don't know that it's really necessary. It's kind of like an easy to skip product. Like it's all right. And I'm going to do Empties now. I have kind of a lot of Empties, I guess, for a month. A lot of little things, maybe that's probably why. A lot of little like sample sizes and like just small container sizes. This first one is, I don't know. This is the Suave Daily Clarifying Shampoo. One of the cheapest shampoos at Walmart. It's not bad. It's for being as cheap as it is, I like it. It cleans well. My hair is pretty predictable with it. Every day it comes out about the same. Have you ever tried shampoos that are like, you never know how your hair is going to be? Like, it's not one of those. So not bad. This other one is the US Apothecary Rosewater Bubble Bath. I think I got this in a glossy box, or maybe not a glossy box. It was probably, I don't remember. It was another subscription that I had. More of a lifestyle subscription. Anyway, I don't think they make this anymore. They have some similar products that are called bath elixirs now, which I don't know if it's the same product or not. But this one was not bad. I didn't use it much for bubble bath. I used it more for a body wash, and it worked okay that way. It had kind of a mild fragrance to it. It wasn't super strong, but it was a nice fragrance, and it worked okay. This is the Grow Gorgeous Scalp Detox Exfoliating Pre-Wash Treatment. It's kind of like a scrub for your scalp. And yeah, I don't know. I liked how my scalp felt afterwards. Felt like, I don't know, you know how that feeling is when you use an exfoliator on your skin? It just feels like fresh and like clean and just invigorated. Like, it kind of gives you that feeling, but it's kind of a pain in the butt to get the little exfoliating granules through all your hair to the scalp and then to rinse it all out. Like, it takes a while to use this. So I prefer not to use that type of product that takes forever to use, but it was kind of like, if you have time, this kind of thing, it might be fun once in a while to use. This is the Macadamia Ultra Rich Moisture Cleansing Conditioner. This is for more textured hair. So it's not really for my kind of hair, but I wanted to use it up because I had it and it was kind of a nice product. It is cleansing. It does have a little bit of a lather, but it is also like a conditioner. So it's kind of like a 2-in-1 product. But it doesn't, for my kind of hair, it's not something that I can use long-term, day after day after day, because it doesn't clean well enough for me, and it will weigh my hair down. I have fine hair. I think I mentioned that before, so something more like this is better with conditioner sometimes, and or just on the ends of my hair. That tends to work better for me. This is the Chlorine Shampoo with Chamomile. I got a couple of uses out of this little packet. It smelled really nice. I really enjoyed the fragrance of this, but it didn't work too well as a shampoo for me. It kind of left my hair staticky, but also like towards the end of the day my hair would be oily. Kind of a weird combo. It doesn't agree with my hair. What else? The Body Shop Honey Mania Bubble Bath Melt. A long time ago I made an order on their website, and there was like a free like bag with all kinds of extra products that I could get with that order. And this came in that. It wasn't something that I chose for myself. And it just sat unused for a long time in my cabinet because of the type of container this is. It's, you know, to pour out. It was okay to pour into a bath for bubble bath, but I don't take a lot of bubble baths, so I just didn't use it that way. I ended up using it as a body wash, and the packaging again is kind of annoying to use that way. I would rather have just like a bottle with this type of product. But it smelled really nice. I don't think they sell this anymore. There might be, you might be able to find like this fragrance or something, but this isn't on their website anymore. Couple of little mini skincare items. I have La Roche-Posay Toleriane Hydrating Gentle Cleanser. This is it's kind of like a cream cleanser, I think. It's not a gel cleanser. It is more for dry skin. Not really for me. It doesn't clean well enough for me. I prefer a gel cleanser that removes some of the oil from my skin. I don't have extra dry skin, so yeah, not for me. This is the Bare Mineral Skin Longevity Vital Power Infusion. This is discontinued. It was just a little sample I got, I think, from Ulta. It didn't work that well for me. It feels nice and silky on the skin at first, but it doesn't feel hydrating over like the course of a day. So another not for me. This is the Seaweed Restoring Marine Serum. This is a Glossy Box product, I think, and I did like this. I thought it felt nice on the skin. It felt hydrating. It seems kind of expensive if you go to look for it on Glossy Box, and I feel like there's other products that I could use in place of this, like this Origins one. I think I like this Origins one better. And it had like a little bit of a shimmer to it that I could see on the skin. It wasn't like a sparkly effect, it was more like just a glow kind of effect. And I have the Drunk Elephant, the TLC Framboos Glycolic Night Serum. This was nice. It reminded me of the Pixie Overnight Glow Serum. I think that's what it's called. It's just an exfoliating night treatment that you can put under your skincare or under your like moisturizer. And I only had a few uses out of this, so it's hard to tell how well this was working for me. It had a nice texture to it, felt hydrating, but that's really all I could tell from it. I have some cleansing wipes. These are the La Roche-Posay Epiclair Clarifying Oil-Free Cleansing Towelettes. These look like makeup removing wipes. They're not. They're a cleanser in the form of a towelette. They have a little bit of acids in them, so don't try to remove eye makeup with this. Not a good idea. I have used them near the eyes. I can feel the acid a little bit. It stings a little bit. Trust me, don't do that. But it does work pretty well as a substitute to washing your face with water and a cleanser. Say if you're traveling or something, you don't have access to a bathroom, you don't have access to running water, then this is nice to have in that case. These are the Evelyn and Crabtree. They're just the hand creams. I got a set of these. I think I mentioned this the last time I did this video. So I'm still working through a whole bunch of these. The scents that I used up this time were Citron, Somerset Meadow, and Gardeners, if you're familiar with this brand. I liked this one the best. It had kind of a softer, more herbal somewhat floral fragrance, and these other two were just sharper, stronger, like, I don't know, a little bit harsher. Little perfume. This is Chanel Gabrielle. I liked this one. It's definitely very floral. Before I wrote out kind of like a blog post, I guess. I don't know if I'm going to post it on the blog, but I wrote it out, and what I described this as was having like a rose scent to it. It isn't really a rose scent. Jasmine is the top note on this. It is the main thing. To me, it doesn't smell like jasmine. That's just me. Maybe this is too old. Who knows how old this little thing is? And that has faded. Who knows? But it's a nice one. It's not my favorite scent ever, but I enjoyed it enough to use it up. I didn't find it to be irritating or anything like that. I think that was all my empties. Thankfully, I didn't have nearly as many as last time. So this is the what's going on in my life. I think the last video I called this current projects. I still don't know what to call this. This time I'm just saying what's going on in my life. Just life update. Yeah. What is it? As I said, I'm doing this well into March. I don't know how February went by so fast, but I feel like that's kind of how it usually is in February. It's the end of winter, and I'm just like, it's dragging. I can't wait until the weather warms up and the days are longer. So let's see. I noted here seasonal depression. I've already kind of touched on that. Part of that is not just that it's February. It's I mentioned in the last video that the roof had a leak. We have a skylight in the kitchen, and so there's a tarp over the skylight. There is privacy film on the windows, which kind of darkens the room. So it just, I'm in the basement a lot, so generally don't get enough daylight as it is, so that doesn't help anything. What else is going on? It's tax season. I didn't spend that much time on taxes. In previous years, it's taken me a lot longer. It's kind of gotten faster over the years. But tax season's never a fun season. Getting rid of old stuff was something I mentioned. We had some exercise equipment that nobody was using, and it was taking up a lot of room here in the basement. So that took a while. I listed it online. I thought of calling like a donation service to pick it up, but I didn't think I was going to do that after listing it online to see if I could get like an individual that might have wanted it first. Luckily that did work out, but oh my god, listing stuff on like Nextdoor, Facebook Marketplace, that kind of thing. I mean, people will contact you interested and then ghost you. Like, why do you even contact me? Like, just don't bother. That's really irritating to me about trying to get rid of things like that. Especially when it's stuff that's kind of a lot of people don't want. A lot of people don't want exercise equipment, like old exercise equipment. It's hard to get rid of, even if it's in good working condition. Yeah, if you have the option to go outside to exercise or do like things that just require your own body weight, I definitely recommend that over getting exercise equipment if you can make that work. I've got a filing cabinet I need to get rid of, and filing cabinets are kind of, as most things are going digital now, there's less of a need for filing cabinets, and so that's kind of another thing that's a little hard to get rid of. So yeah, I'm trying to do that. I took my dog to the vet early this month. She has cancer, so it was mainly just a checkup to see what the doctor thinks about how things are progressing. I've had a couple of pets in the past with cancer, and the experience has been different each time. Both times one of them like progressed really quickly, and so that was very different. That the other one, there were a lot of symptoms. This one, there's no symptoms. Things are going very slowly. She seems like she's fine. She doesn't seem like she's in pain. I mean, the only thing we've seen is like a little bit of weight loss, and that's it. So it's kind of like a ticking time bomb. Just being a little bit on edge and not knowing like when things are going to go downhill. Just, you know that they are. So yeah, that's just another thing going on in my life. Let's see, another thing, not a negative thing, finally something kind of neutral. I went to IKEA. I like to go to IKEA just to browse, even if I'm not looking for anything specific, just because I like how IKEA has little setups, like different rooms set up in different ways. You can get ideas on how to use their products. And two products caught my eye. They're like bathroom storage and organization things. Mainly because I have a lot of stuff in my bathroom, and my bathroom is like a secondary area where I can store things versus just in this room. And I don't know what they're called. I didn't bring them up here. One's like an over the toilet storage thing, and then the other one is like a little skinny, tall cabinet. And they are... they seem like they're the same size, I think, when I looked at the measurements. So it'd be kind of cool to maybe put them side by side. It's an option that I'm considering maybe doing in there. Places I went. I only went to one place again this month. This time it was a place called Henry Hagg Lake or Scoggins Valley Park. I'm not really sure. It kind of has a couple of different names. It's a park that's kind of a little bit of outside northwest Portland area, maybe like 30 minutes to an hour drive from the Portland area, depending on how far you're going. It's a pretty large park. It's probably one of the larger parks in the area, and it's a pretty big lake, man-made lake with a main road that goes around the whole thing. There's a bunch of parking lots around the whole circle, both paved and kind of like gravel parking areas. There's plenty of bathrooms, lots of hiking trails, and biking. You can bike on the trails too. Boating, fishing. It's a nice area, and it's not too crowded compared to other parks I've gone to. There's a lot less people there. I don't know, it's a really quiet area. I don't hear like the city noise. I don't hear a lot of road noise, traffic. So just a nice little place to get away if you just want peace and quiet and just like to kind of, like I said, just get away from everything. And one thing to know, there's no cell phone. I didn't have any cell phone reception, so just something to be aware of if you go there. I think there's an emergency phone somewhere in the park there, if you really need access to that. I'm not sure if other carriers may have better coverage there. I'm not really sure. I had absolutely no coverage at all there. So. The food section of this video. I only have two things to talk about, two recipes that I tried. One was the Philly cheesesteak meatloaf from a blog called Dinner Then Dessert. This one it's just like a normal meatloaf, except it's got bell peppers, onions, mushrooms, and it uses provolone. So it's got a little bit of that Philly cheesesteak kind of flavor to it, along with standard meatloaf flavor. I felt like I liked it. I thought it came out good. I felt like if I do this again, I will probably use more bell pepper. It called for one. I'd probably maybe put a second one in there and reduce the amount of mushrooms just to get a little bit of a stronger bell pepper flavor. And how do you say Worcestershire sauce? I don't know how you say that, but that's a pretty strong flavor that overpowered the bell peppers, I felt. So I would use a little bit less of that and more bell peppers. The other one was the chicken and wild rice casserole from Lauren's Latest. This one, it called for Uncle Ben's wild rice. I didn't use that. I used just a plain wild rice. But I want to try it again with the Uncle Ben's because that's got some seasonings in it that probably add a different flavor to it. But the way that I made it, I thought it came out well. I thought all the ingredients were balanced. There wasn't like too much of anything or too little of anything. And I used it to take to work. I ate it at home. It held up well for like a week. That's typically how when I cook, I'll do things that will hold up for a whole week just to save time. So I do recommend that. I would try that one again. And I think that I covered everything in this video. So, this one was a little bit of a struggle for me to get through. I do want to mention, and I've been wanting to get this off my chest for a while with you guys, some of my videos, I feel like I come across as like inconsistent. Like some videos I feel like it looks like maybe I'm confident, and like other videos I have a completely different demeanor. And I feel like it's a result of me being anxious when I'm doing this. Like I don't do well talking on camera. This is not comfortable for me. It's not that I don't enjoy it, it's just that it's just hard for me. And so sometimes I feel more comfortable with it than other times, and I know that that really comes across and you guys can tell. And I don't know what to say other than I'm sorry that I'm not consistent with the way that I present myself. I'm trying to overcome my issues here. And it's frustrating for me. I wish that I didn't feel this way. And that I could just do the things that I want to do without the way that I feel weighing me down. But that's just how it is. I don't know what else to do about it. So, and part of this, doing the monthly month in review, is just like, is for me to talk more on camera, because I don't talk a whole lot in my swatching and my tutorials and stuff. And I'm focused on one subject. I'm not just randomly talking about whatever. So it's just a different type of thing for me to do. And I wanted to keep doing this month after month, because it's not only that, it's that I can look back on how I spent my time over the month. Because like I said, like the month will go by and I'm like, I don't know where my time went. What did I do all month? I'm like, my life is passing me by. I don't know what I'm doing with it. So I hope that as the months go by, and hopefully I stick with this, that I will do better at it, and that I will spend my time better. Like I'm not spending my time in a way that I'm happy with, so hopefully I'll see what I'm doing with my time every time I do one of these videos and make changes and just do a better job of living my life. So I will see you again next month. Again, hopefully I stick with this, and hopefully this wasn't too long.